Before I start with this episode, I just want to give a quick shout out to Podmetrics. Yup, Podmetrics is the platform I use to get all the data I need for the show. From who listens to me, all the way to where they come from, Podmetrics takes care of all of that so I can make better content for you. You can even integrate Podmetrics with Facebook and YouTube so you can get more data from your live streams. So if you're a podcaster or want to start your own podcast, go visit podmetrics.co and sign up for free. Use my code JakeOfAllTradesWithDelRo. With that out of the way, cue the intro music.
We're on air. I'm kidding. Taking over your host responsibilities.
Yep.
Okay.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Kamusta kayo lahat mula sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, or wherever the heck you are on the planet? This is your one and only Jake of All Trades, the place to be for any niche, every genre, and all generations. Y'all ready for this part? I'm your master of ceremony, D to the E to the L-R-O, aka JDR, aka the extraordinary introvert.
Introvert. Hey.
Yep. So before we start, we gotta give the queen her props. It's September 8th as of this recording. So Mama Mary, happy birthday.
HBD.
Hope you have a good one up there. And we hope to do you proud in this episode, all right? So
Amen.
Yep, amen. So before we start, or might as well introduce the topic already. So, as you can see, we've talked about work, we've talked about school, we've talked about starting work in school in the previous episode. But what if I told you that you have a life where you're working and studying at the same time? So, I'm sure you've heard of part-time workers who are full-time students. You have full-time students who are part-time workers. But this next guest over here is a full-time student and a full-time worker. So that's pretty much my intro right there. Usually I give lengthy intros, but that was pretty much the bomb. So I'm going to let her spill all the deets for you guys.
Take the floor.
Yep. But with that out of the way, let's give it up for Miss Xeina Canlas.
Woo!
Yep. Did I say your name right?
Insert. Yeah. You did. I'm glad you did. Insert some clapping. Woo!
Yo, I'll try.
You
try
can
to
do
play
that.
around
And
with
by
the
the way,
effects.
your editing is really yeah. And I just say like the jazzy blues, like the on the background. I was like, whoa, some fire ass shit. I mean, fire, fire. Just edit that out. I'm so sorry. Okay, I can do this.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Hello. So what's up, JOAT's listeners? My name is Xeina Canlas. You can call me X, but not your ex. But I'm making my own sound effects. Okay. I am currently a student still at the Ateneo de Manila University, I work full-time. The Arneo de Manila University. Yes. And I am a full-time sorry. Need some water.
Need water.
Yeah. So I am a full-time worker, employee. I am the Chief Administrative Officer in PhilCenter, or Philippines Center for Real Estate Professional Studies Incorporated.
Whoa.
We are a company. Whoa, long name, long company name, no? So I just call it PhilCenter. We're a non-profit organization that aims to uplift the lives of Filipinos through quality education. Yes.
There you go, guys.
Yes.
pretty darn qualified, right? PhilCenter student at the
Yeah, the Ateneo.
Yep.
I should tell my my superiors. We should start calling PhilCenter the PhilCenter. I'm
Yep.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no cap. So as you guys can see, I picked the right guest for this episode.
Yes.
One of the most qualified working students, and
Yes.
yeah, let's get to it.
They can't see me flipping my hair. But yeah, hair flip.
On
hair
YouTube,
flip.
on YouTube they can though. So
Oh. Hello.
pero go lang. Yeah.
Total change of personality. Hello.
Like I
So,
said,
yeah.
we try to embarrass ourselves once in a while. I mean, in the previous episode, I just gulped the bottle of beer, so there's a
Oh,
chance
you
to be.
did?
I did because it was
Ooh,
such a long
What?
week.
what?
Yeah, it was such a long week. I
Mm.
recorded it at night, so like I was like, let's just drink the heck out of this long week. I'm really trying to filter myself because as much as we want to spit cuss words, I can't do that. So
Yeah. No. Tita, hello. That rhymes. No, it doesn't. Xeina. Okay.
yeah, what's up, mom? But anyways, before we
What's
start,
up?
I keep saying before we start. I don't know what's going on. But we are starting. We are starting, guys.
Sangria, guys. But that was for last night. Helped me sleep well.
Yep.
Anyway. Yeah.
So being a worker, being a student, just what's the initial thoughts? Like, just spill for me. Like, what is it like doing two
Initial thought.
important duties at the same time? Like, usually for me, I did all my student work first, but I think I interned once. Well, I'm not sure, but I did field work. That was my equivalent of being an intern. But other than that, I've had no work experience until now, of course. But for you, you're juggling two major responsibilities at the same time. So what's it like, X?
Yeah. Well, it's stressful. I mean, obviously, I think that's the first thing that would come up to anyone's mind, like struggling to juggle two things at the same time. But I feel like everyone in a way is like a working student. You know what I mean? Because I mean, we have students who are varsity players, students who are preparing for like getting into their family company or taking over, whatever, stuff like that. So it's really it's not as hard as it sounds. It's not as hard as it sounds, because I feel like with our generation, like the us, are we millennial? Yeah, we're wait.
No, we're
Are
Gen
we
Z.
Gen Z? Like, oh my gosh, for real?
Yeah, I think so.
My whole life has been a lie. Oh no. Okay, so for us Gen Zers, Gen
Gensers.
Z people, Gensers. Oh, I actually heard that. I heard you use that term in one of your previous podcasts. Anyway, we're so used to multitasking, like it's become like inherent in our nature. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I don't believe that there's a student out there who isn't doing something on the side. Like I'm sure everyone is like, gaming on the side, or like, streaming also. They're gaming. I feel like it's become so inherent for us to be studying and have like a passion project on the side, or work on the side, some kind of thing to get us moving, to help us get out of bed every day, because admittedly, dude, studying work.
I know, right?
What? But yeah, it's not as stressful, it's not as hard as it sounds. But obviously, like anything, doing it it just takes a toll on you, because we're not people who are meant to be doing one thing our whole lives. We're meant to explore all the different aspects of life and stuff, Woo! Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, you could have said any better. Like, being a working student, it's basically just a glorified version of multitasking, if you think about it.
Yeah. I feel like that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Like, look at me, for example. Even though I took it one by one, I was like doing blogging on the side, before I started this. So I had a WordPress back in college. So
oof.
Yeah. I pretty much understand like how being a working student kind of works, but I'm sure you're a lot better at it because
I'm actually doing it.
Yeah, you're in a legit company, you have a legit employer.
Yeah. So it's all legit.
Can you say though that the org life, as they say, did it prepare you for this current state in your life right now, which is a working student? Like, if you think about it,
I like that question.
Organizations, regardless of what they are, they kind of prepare you for real world stuff, like whether you're a president of an org or a secretary or whatever role you are assigned to or you apply for. Like, could you say that it prepares you for what's ahead in the outside world? Or actually, no, not what's ahead, but like actually being in the outside world while being in university?
I think especially with the vibrancy of org life in the Ateneo, it really does. Like, that's what I can say. You're gonna find out actually, because before taking on a position within the family company, I actually tried applying for other work, and each company is literally like a different family. Like you're joining a family. You know what I mean? Because like. They have different styles of organization and like their how they relate to each other.
Yeah,
it's super different in everywhere. So the answer to your question is yes. Like the org life, especially within the Ateneo, because that's the only org life that I've experienced, it really does prepare you. Like, especially, I mean, I was in internals for Tugon. For those of you that don't know, Tugon is an organization for child sexual abuse.
Yep.
And as a member relations person, like the work that came with it, you really can apply it to work outside. For example, like making a database for all the members and organizing that, giving them points and stuff like that. That's actually real world stuff. And the surprising thing is, get this, the companies outside, they don't really do they're not as organized as the organizations within Ateneo, for real. Like
serious?
Yeah, like like you'd get, like, for example, minutes, right? Minutes of the meeting.
Yeah.
Usually it's super, like, in organizations in Ateneo, it's very detailed and they have forms and stuff, but then there's some I won't say what what companies. But they're not as organized as you think. Like, I'm super surprised. Like, that was a shock to me, that the organization in the organizations in Ateneo, you can really apply the systems there outside, and you're gonna get praised for it. But the thing is, it's hard to like, you know how Vico Soto, it's
Yeah.
about to get political in here. No, you know how Vico Soto like changed the whole dynamic within the
Pasig,
Pasig.
right? Yep.
Yeah. It suddenly became so, millennialized.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
they're really adapting to technology and stuff like that. And
Oh yeah.
it's super hard what he did, because like if you're doing stuff like paperwork lang, it's super easy to be corrupt, because it's not as transparent. Like it only goes through a few people, the paperwork. Whereas
Yeah.
if it's online or if it's digitalized, anyone with the access could access it. So yeah. So yes, organizations and Ateneo help. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
org life helps.
And you just talk about how when you fill up that resume, when you fill up that CV, when you write that cover letter, you have to put your org stuff too. Like it really helps in boosting your chances of getting in. Well, if you're not
It does.
working yet, and while you're working, you get to apply the skills that org life has taught you. So yeah.
Absolutely.
and
Like, people
technically,
don't just.
oh sorry,
Mhm.
and technically,
No, go ahead.
while you're in the org, you're technically kind of working that in. You're not preparing for work, but you're actually doing work because it's
Yeah,
actually serious stuff.
exactly. It's that's why they call it org work, diba? Because it's legit work. It's legitimate too, but it's just within the confines of a certain
Yeah.
educational institution. Yeah.
But what were you gonna say before I accidentally cut you?
I like what you said about the whole resumes thing, because like my mom, because she's obviously she's the president, and she's the one who because we're the ones who curate the applications, right? But she's the one who gets to approve who actually gets in or not.
Yeah.
And she as someone who has been reviewing and accepting resume, CVs, applications, job applications of students, and those who are trying to get a job, of course. They really look for well-rounded people. They really, I mean, obviously, your school, that's it's pretty sad, but that's important actually too. But
Yeah.
apart from that, they also look at your extracurriculars, and they try to see how well-rounded you are as a person through your CV or your resume. So that's very important stuff too. Don't just focus on school, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yep.
Live your best lives.
Yeah, one of the biggest regrets of my college life right there. I took school too seriously that I kind of had little. I wouldn't say I had no time for orgs, but if I were to give a distribution of the percentage, I'd say 75% was just me doing school stuff in the lab, and then the other 25 was just doing the extra stuff that I can do. But yeah.
What? You regret what, dude? That's what I regret, honestly. I wish I focused more on ACADS. I swear, I wish I focused more on ACADS. I really.
It's alright. You got about, I don't know, 2 sems left.
Yeah,
And
but
actually,
I would have graduated on time, if I
Yeah.
just focused more on ACADS. But it's okay. Health is wealth. Gotta prioritize that too.
And this section.
Yeah. Go. Go. See, I love. Okay, never mind. Okay, wait. Yeah, no. Because we're both talkative, right? Okay, anyway. Go. You first.
But yeah, that was gonna segue me to my next question. So, with so many things on your plate, how do you balance?
so many
how's
things.
how's the balancing act going so far? Like, how do you balance school? How do you balance work? How do you balance org life? You know, because we have so much things to do, but yeah, like very. I wouldn't say so little time because 24 hours a day is still a lot, but it's not in limitless supply. You know, we all can agree to that. So, how do you manage your time? How do you balance it? Like, do you have a certain schedule? Do you have a certain routine that you follow in order to get all this stuff done in a certain amount of time? Do you get to meet the deadlines despite so many things, you know, on your plate?
Okay, so about balancing work and life and student duties. Okay, I guess, yeah, I do have like a sort of schedule. Like that's one of the essential things that I feel like they built in to us during our kindergarten and grade school, high school years, you know. And I really thank Pavetta for that, because IW, do you know IW? Yeah, individual work, dude. That's basically literally how to organize your everything that you have to do. So yeah, like what I do is since I am able to work, you know, efficiently in the morning and in the evening, I segregate it, obviously. So I work for work in the morning, and then in the evening or late afternoon to, you know, the wee hours of the night, that's when I'm studying. And I feel like that's typically what working students do, you know.
Yeah.
Work morning to afternoon and then study at night. So yeah, it's very optimal brain power. That's when the brain power is on. So, you know, yeah.
Wow. So do you like give yourself breaks in between, or not? Dire-diretso yung, you know, all the stuff
it
you gotta do?
depends. If I have a deadline and I haven't done anything for it, cramnish, woo! No. If I have a deadline and I need to work on it, or if I have to study for a test, for example, I go obviously straight to the thing. No breaks whatsoever. I mean, yeah, no breaks whatsoever. I'm not the type of person to like take breaks, because I feel like taking breaks actually hinders me from it. It's a break, you know. like when you're driving. Wow, so I don't know what are you trying to say, but get
No,
okay,
it makes
when
sense.
you're
It makes
driving.
sense.
When you're driving on the expressway and you need to get to that destination and you're on the expressway, man, you can't just stop. if you stop, it's gonna take a while for you to like get started again. You know what I mean? Like if you're on the express lane and you friggin' ooh, I said friggin', yeah. Filter. Okay.
Yep.
If you're on the expressway and express lane and then you suddenly stop, obviously the people behind you, you know, they're gonna beep beep, and they're gonna, you know, it's gonna cause this whole commotion, and you're like, oh no, and then you start shifting gears and like pressing the gas again until you're finally, you know, going again on the road driving. but yeah, like I feel like taking breaks, it's not good for me. What? That's so like counter to all the studies that have been made, but for me, yeah, yeah, breaks are a no.
Yeah. I know, I can kind of relate too, because I'm also the type to like work right away or work continuously, because like every time I like check my phone, I say, oh, I'm just gonna give myself 5 minutes. Little do I know that's 15,
No,
that's 20. So
I
I completely get what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like for example, this whole podcast thing, I feel like you're really on a roll, you know, like you have that fire that's
Yeah.
ignited, and like it's not getting doused out any moment any moment soon, but you know, I feel like you're really on a roll. So
Yo,
Yeah.
thanks for the shout out right there.
yeah.
But you're so right. I mean, I just saw my YouTube playlist for this podcast. I already had 12
Mhm.
episodes. This is going on 13, so
Yeah,
I ain't slowing down anytime soon. You know?
I saw it also actually, and I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, there's like a few episodes this month, and then a few episodes that month, and then biglang, whoa, parang every 2 days, every
Boom,
3
boom, boom,
days,
boom,
meron
boom.
ka na. Yeah, I was like, dude, that's passion, that's commitment, that's fire, dude. That's fire. Yeah. Good
But yo,
job.
yeah, even if I have those pods, like it doesn't mean I'm neglecting my work responsibilities either.
sure.
So, and I actually want to ask you that, like,
Sure.
did you have no choice but to like cut some of your classes because of, you know, work commitments in the office or something like that, or were you
Yeah.
able to like meet every single commitment regardless of where you had to be?
I've had to skip like whole school days sometimes, and like I've skipped like long tests.
Oh, no.
For work. But it's really, I mean, you know, opportunity cost. Like it's really on you. You know, what's more, like what's worth more to you, or what's more advantageous. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, you got that right. Don't worry
That
about it.
to you and your life, right? And yeah. So I've you know, I've skipped a lot of school stuff for work, but I've also skipped a lot of work stuff for school. So you know, it's really up to you finding that balance. So I guess that's like, you really have to have a strong, you know, mental. You need to be mentally healthy for that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's a give and take kind of thing for you. With
Absolutely. With everything in life, it's a give and take. Amen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect segue too, because sometimes the circumstance will call for divine intervention.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yes.
Yep.
Divine intervention.
And this is where the God part comes in, because originally we wanted to talk about
the God part.
yeah. But
yes,
no,
yes, JOAT's listeners. I wanted to talk about God.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like I'm definitely down to do a God episode for sure.
For sure.
For
Yo,
sure.
hit me up.
But
I'm
since
kidding.
you're here right now, might as well bring your guy in.
Mhm.
How's he
My
helped
guy.
you? Like,
My guy. Your guy.
how's he helped you? All our guys, or all
Our guy.
our guy.
Yes.
So how's he
Or
really?
girl. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Excuse me. I mean, when we're talking about God is neither man nor woman.
That's true. That's
He's
true.
not bound to, gender.
Mhm.
Woo!
But how's he helped
Time
you
to
though?
bust your out.
How's he helped
Sorry.
you, like, despite your season, whether you're stressed?
I'm so sorry. I feel like
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I feel like this is the noisiest podcast you've ever had.
But no, it's
Where-
raw.
where-
It's original. There's a lot of interjecting in
That's true,
between.
that's true. Yeah.
But
I'm
how's
so
he helped you though? Like,
Forgive me.
whether you're a stressful student, whether you're a burnt out worker, like, how do you still dedicate time? Not just to asking for help, but to just really put him in the center of what you do every day, Because at the end, we have this fetish for Latin words. Like, basically our mantra is, do everything for God, right?
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
for you, like in your situation or in your season right now as a working student, how do you pour in all the all the work with your readings? How do you pour in all the deadlines as a worker? How do you study your ass off as a student for every
So
test?
basically, how does God fit into my life?
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. Like, okay. So how does God fit into my life?
Yeah.
I think God doesn't fit in my life. Ooh, God doesn't fit in my life because He is my life. You get what I mean?
Bars. That's bars right there.
Yeah. Hey. No, because like, I think once you change the mentality you have, like your whole consciousness over everything, like once you become God conscious, everything and anyone in any situation, it makes you realize how like how powerful and imminent God really is. Like, woo, words, where are you? See, okay, you know, I want to talk about God, but I can't find the words to you know, like where
Explain
do you
him.
even begin, diba? Right? Like, okay, well, to answer your question, so yeah, I don't fit God into my life. I make Him my life because He is my life, you know. And doing that means that you have to be God conscious. Like in Hindu scriptures, or in the Vedas, they have this thing called Krishna consciousness. And Krishna consciousness is basically God consciousness, because Krishna is their that's what they call God. You know, the all. And once you start to see God in everything, everyone, every situation, every single thing, you know, and everywhere, that's like every moment is a moment of prayer, you know. Like everything you do, everything you say, whatever you think, it's your whole life basically, you know, it's a form of prayer. And I think that's really beautiful, you know. So I'm just saying, because I mean, okay, my turn to ask a question. Ooh.
Oh no.
School right there. Let me
I've seen this story way too many times. Yep.
Okay, so who is God to you?
It's so simple yet so, you know, hard to grasp, right?
Yes.
Well, for me, like, when the going gets rough,
That you didn't expect this.
I did not.
Sorry. Because like I noticed in all your podcasts, it's always you asking the questions. I'm like, you know.
But no, there was one guest who asked me a question too, though. So I'm not sure if you saw the episode, but
yeah.
you know, she asked me as well. So
let me.
You're not the first.
Go.
That's for sure.
Okay. Well, still.
Yeah.
A question is a question.
Yeah.
And it waits for an answer.
Well, you know, for me, God is just someone who's just making His miracle happen, you know. Because let's be real, even though I have all these things going, I've been kind of unlucky in some aspects of my life, you know. Whether it's failed quizzes, whether it's long hours at work, whether it's girls dumping my ass, you know.
Hey, you said the A word, tita.
Nope,
Tita,
the A word appears in the Bible, you know.
To refer to a donkey, are you talking about the donkey?
But you're right.
Okay.
You're right. That's so true. But you guys, or you get the picture, right? So every time something unlucky comes my way, I just go to him. I ask, yo, what's going on? Like, why can't I seem to catch a break? But as I start to become more rational with my thinking and all that, it just makes me realize.
Yeah, I'm listening.
It's okay. But yo, guys, every time I seem to catch a break, can't seem to catch a break and all that, I just, talk to him for a little bit. I'm like, yo, what's up? Why can't I seem to get it together? But I also don't go to him for the bad moments. But I also make sure that every time something good does happen, like for example, this podcast or me getting recently hired and all the other good stuff in between. I'm like, yo, God, thanks for always coming through in the clutch.
Yo, God, thank you.
I can't do this on my own, or I could, or most of the stuff I do on my own. But of course, He's the one making the plans up there. So that's actually who God is for me. He's in the greater scheme of things, even though things don't go according to our liking, or at least that's how I would say it. He already has the blueprint upstairs, and
Amen.
we may sometimes not follow it, or that may be in the form of not listening to our parents' advice or doing things my way, as Sinatra would say. But the blueprint's there, the plan's laid out. It's just a matter of meeting the point, going back to the game plan. And it doesn't have to be follow it script by script, because we don't even see God. So what more his script, right? So I think it's just coming to our senses when we do when we do something bad, or we do something unorthodox and all that. It's really just going back to, getting our stuff together, and just asking God, yo, am I doing this right this time? Or is this really for me? That's usually what I ask him. Is this for me, or is it not? Is it not meant?
I like that. I like your sentiments. But I don't... Oh, wait. Because you said you were unlucky in some aspects of your life, right? In some things. But when we look at it, like, God's finest example of I feel like God's finest example of being unlucky is Jesus' life.
Oh yeah.
Bruh, like, yo, I mean, your dad, the big guy up there, the he wants you to die on the cross. And obviously that's, who's gonna think that, I'm gonna die at the cross? It's my lucky day. No one, like, absolutely no one. And he didn't want to do it either. He cried, and he cried about it when he was praying. And I think
oh no. That noise.
I think it's not about being lucky or unlucky. It's about, this was what I wanted to bring up in your podcast. Okay, because it's not about being lucky and unlucky, right? I feel like it's about relating to each other and connecting with one another. Because I feel like you can't find God from this point to that point, You find God in the liminal space in between. And that liminal space can only be there if there's actually something from and to, giving and receiving on both ends. And that's whether it's like, for example, you're lucky at this point in your life and you're unlucky in this point, or you're unlucky in this point and you're lucky at this point in your life. But when you're here, whether you're there, it doesn't matter, because it's like the struggle in between, or like the whatever happened in between. That's the important part, because that's actually where you grow. There you grow the most, and that's actually where you realize, you know, the difference, right? Because if you're unlucky, you wouldn't know that you're unlucky until, you know, you've been lucky, and likewise you wouldn't know that you're lucky until you've been unlucky. Do you get what I mean? So it's really the connection, the ping. Yeah, and that's beautiful. So all I can say, I just no words. God, you're great. You're great. You're beautiful. Amen.
That's so true. This, as you can see, guys, this podcast has been chaotically beautiful. Like
chaotically, I like that. Chaotically beautiful. Yeah.
Like this conversation was like came out of nowhere. Although we were kind of planning to have this episode regardless, like the fact.
Yeah.
No, it's actually needed because, you know, off air, Xeina was like, "Oh, why is God just on the side now for this episode?" Like that's. I feel like it kind of insulted our guy. Like, I'm really sorry, God. Like, but no, if you notice everything we do, like, we only spend like a few minutes, I guess. Like, you know, evening prayers and all of that. You know, 3 o'clock prayer and then back to business. You know, I feel like it's, you know, he deserves more than just a formula prayer and all that. But it's kind of hard too, because at the same time, we don't see this person physically.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, well, God comes in many forms. I mean, don't you believe that this whole podcast, this whole thing that you're doing is, you know, I mean, I know that you do, because that's what you said in your first episode, right? You're serving this higher purpose. You're serving the people and not just yourself, right?
Yeah.
And
oh, you've been paying attention. Nice. I like it.
Just the first episode. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Like you, the fact that you're able to do this, and you're doing this for other people, not just yourself. That's already the spirit in the works, you know. And since God comes in many forms, this podcast could be one of it. And like you. And you might not know it, like you and the words that you're saying could actually touch someone's heart, or touch your listeners' hearts, and hopefully, you know, like it allows them to reconcile with whatever's going on in their minds, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, so guys, you just saw one of my fans, or one of many fans who have been praising my podcast, and I just can't thank you guys enough, man. Like, I totally just, this reception that I've been getting, like, as much as it's good to have, like, at the same time, I'm just so humbled, you know? Like, the fact that people like you, people like my parents and my parents' friends, or just some of my close friends who have been tuning in since day one, like, the fact that you have lots of insights about the show, it's very interesting, and I'm just pretty humbled to say the least.
Yeah. And I feel like let me ask you, don't you feel God when you do this? Because like when you because okay, this is a bit of like psychoanalyzing, forgive me, but forgive me, but in your first episode you were saying that you are an introvert, and like doing this, isn't it is, you know, bringing out your extroverted side, your ability to relate and connect with people. Like isn't that, you know, the spirit in the works? It's really nice.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is, because, you know, being the introvert that I am, I'm really shy as heck, and I just find it so uncomfortable, like surrounding myself with people. You know, even if this is online lang, like I know it's different from physical interaction, but it can still be kind of nerve-wracking. It can still be very nerve-wracking. You know.
For real? Oh.
No, not just
Same.
with you, but with everyone else. Every time I
No.
admit someone to the meeting room, I get so nervous.
Yeah, dude. Any Zoom meeting, I feel like I'm just like, hello. Like even at work or like when we're doing webinars, it's like you have to get into this professional voice,
Yeah.
right? And you're
Yeah.
welcome to Philippine Center. Welcome, students. And today we will be, and it's like they don't see it, but like you're shaking underneath, you know. And that's good. Like I feel like this will ultimately help you conquer.
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
certain things that you may need to conquer.
Mhm.
But yeah, everyone gets those.
Yeah. Wow. So guys, we're barely an hour into this podcast, but I feel like we've talked about stuff that's worth, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours long. Yeah. But no, literally, we've talked about so much stuff, and we may be going off the outline, off the script, but it doesn't matter. Like this is honestly one of my favorite episodes because this is like a 2-for-1, like, or not even a 2-for-1. Like, we talked about school, we talked about work, we talked about God, like
everything.
yeah, this is so raw and it's close to unfiltered, of course, minus the cussing and all of that. But
Excuse me, there was no cussing except for your donkey word. Ugh, tita, please.
hey, you said the S word though. You said the S word in the beginning.
That was. Oh, okay. So anyway, moving on.
Yeah. But yo, I guess to I guess to like wrap it up. I actually can't believe you made it this far because honestly, unlike other guests where I prepare my outlines, this one was so unscripted. It was
Unprepared.
style, impromptu.
What? That's true.
But looking at my timer up in the upper right, like we're 50 minutes in.
50 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. No, it's
cool,
good.
that's cool,
It's really
that's
good.
cool.
So I guess to wrap it up, I'm sorry, I'm sure you want to talk already, but
No.
what is your advice, or what is your what tips can you possibly give to those who want to try out, working and being a student at the same time? And let's, I guess, summarize it as well. Like, how can you put God into the equation with so many things on your plate, with so many responsibilities, so many duties, and so many things that you want to do, like the hobbies outside of work, outside of school? How do you like put that all in just 24 hours, 7 days, 365 days, one whole year, a lot of things on your plate? It can be
That's
so
true.
difficult, right? So
Yeah, it is.
how do you balance all of that and still live out your best life?
Okay. I guess my advice to live out your best life and balance everything would be to change your mindset, your mentality, be God conscious. That's the very first step. How in Christian living education, back in high school, grade school, they CLE, how they tell you to be, Christ-centered. It's the same thing, just be God conscious. Train your mind, like have 5 minutes where every day where you wake up and you meditate on things that have happened, things that would happen or you want to happen, and things that are going to happen, and how for the day, and how it's gonna, how you want it to pan out. And then after God consciousness, I guess the second would be to be organized. You really have to super organize yourself and your schedule, and how you have to have a schedule and stick to it. That's really prime. That's really, And I guess the third, 3 points, yes. Okay, the third would be, let me think.
It's okay, you got this.
I guess the third would be to. Well, I was gonna. I was gonna say the third one should be to be happy, but if you're really applying, God consciousness, then you're already supposed to be happy. But okay, I guess the third one would be don't stress. What?
Yeah, that is so
Don't
right. That is
stress.
so right.
Mga pare ko, wag kayo mag-stress. Tama ba
Chill
yun?
out. Chill out, guys.
Yeah, like just like especially with this time in the pandemic, you're super allowed to take it slow and to build and really set your boundaries, because you need that, especially when anyone can contact you for work or for school or anything, even our teachers sometimes, or profs rather, they tend to forget that we're supposed to have a limit as to schoolwork, but yeah, so that's it. Number one, God consciousness. Number two, what was number two?
Organized. Be organized.
Be organized. See, that's something I need to work on too. And number three,
Calm down.
yeah, no stress.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah. Couldn't have said
That's
any
it.
better. Couldn't have said any better.
That's it.
But yo, I totally forgot to ask this in the middle of our
Mhm.
episode because
Yeah.
you were in your element with your with your discussion on God.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But no, it was good. It was
Okay.
really good. But I totally forgot about this question. And you mentioned pandemic, so it's I have to bring it up in a certain way. So with the pandemic, pala, has it slowed you down with your working student mentality, or have you had an easy time adjusting to the different setup? Like, can you imagine Zoom meetings, Zoom links everywhere, from online classes to meetings, and
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure like
true,
your
that's
computer can only handle one meeting. So
Yeah.
how's the adjustment been? Or how will it be? Because I think school starts tomorrow for you guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Well, with regards to the pandemic, I feel like it reinforced my whole working student mentality, because given the pandemic, you're given so much time, right? So much more time, because like travel time is non-existent anymore. You're all just at home, and then like when your breaks for lunch or for snacks or whatever, you can just do that anytime, or you can do that like while doing work or while you're studying. And leisure time also, it's like your whole schedule is basically up to you, save for the actual required synchronous meetings and synchronous classes. So yeah, it's reinforced it in such a way that the schedule that I already put up for myself as a working student, separating morning for work and then nighttime for school time, and then afternoon, siesta or whatever, leisure time, Netflix, ganon. Yeah, it reinforced that. It really did. And I feel like it really helped, because it's easier. I don't have to rush into and like worry about, oh, I'm not gonna get home in time to work on my paper and stuff like that. Like, it really time, like the time saved, you really get to use it if you haven't been using it already.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah.
Really, at the end of the day, regardless of what season we're at, it's all about just managing your time wisely, while at the same time just maintaining good mental health. Like, you also don't want to burn out yourself with all the responsibilities. if you're a student watching this, getting ready for school tomorrow or whenever, it's really just
Holla!
about, yeah, what's up? Good luck sa inyo.
Holla! Yeah.
It's all about just setting a right schedule and just taking breaks, because you're staring at the Zoom screen for hours and hours. Like my dad personally, he had a major migraine after
Headache?
that.
Oh, migraine, yeah.
And my mom, same thing, because she's a preschool teacher. After every Zoom session with the preschool kids, she comes home with a massive headache as well. So I'm sure students can relate, workers like us can relate. It's important to just take some breaks, walk around if you have to, but just know that you
Absolutely.
have to meet the certain requirements pa rin. So,
Absolutely. And with regards to the whole taking breaks, I mean, obviously it's essential. I mean, when we were talking about it earlier, that was just for like when you have something due, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
obviously you need to take breaks because like what you said, your mom and your dad, they were getting migraines and headaches when they're staring at the screen all day. Dude, it really happens. And dude, I often find myself like I catch myself just staring at the wall or at the ceiling or at the curtains for
it
like
happens to all of us,
20
right?
yeah, for like 20 minutes because like I just don't want to stare at the screen. You know what I mean? I don't want to, yeah. And it's a relief as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or if it helps, it pays to invest on, blue light filter or anti-radiation glasses.
Yeah, I
Go a
was
long
gonna say
way.
that, but sponsored by EO Optical Eyewear.
Yep.
I'm kidding. But yeah, I guess it's times are changing.
Yeah, they sure are.
So wild.
Can't wait to go back to
So-
normal.
I know, but like I don't. Yeah, it's still gonna be a different normal. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like once we, I mean, sorry. Why am I saying sorry to you? Still sorry. You were a creation of God. Okay. No. When we transition from work from home and study at home to living outside again, I feel like people like because the paradigm has shifted, right? The focus of people isn't on career now, it's more on family and
It sure is.
and relationships, and like before it was very insurance related, like they wanna work so that they could their families wouldn't, and now it's just it really shifted everyone's point of view. Like people actually wanna hang out now, and I feel like that's the one thing that I feel like will change after the pandemic. When people say that, hey, you wanna hang out, I feel like people will actually hang out, you know what I mean? 'Cause, like before it was like, oy, like when someone messages you on Messenger, Facebook or whatever, or when they text you, oy, miss na kita, tara, let's hang out soon, and it never happens, dude. It never happens.
Yeah, it never does. Or they give the fake I'm busy message.
Yeah, sorry, I'm busy, but honestly, I'm just fed
just
up with
avoiding
life.
you,
I don't wanna. That's true, but I feel like now that's one thing that's gonna change, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope
Yeah.
it does.
All the stuff we took for granted, we're gonna truly
Amen.
enjoy it to get back.
That's true. I like that. Are we wrapping it up, or?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yo, that was an awesome hour of just literally talking about all the good
I
stuff.
still have a
all the
question though.
content. Go ahead.
Making it. No. I feel bad already. I feel
No,
bad.
no,
I'm
no, it's
making
okay.
it longer than it's supposed to be.
Nah, you're
Are
still
you
on.
sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay.
Because maybe this could be like a new segment. Whoa. A new segment, because I listened to your very first podcast very well.
Yeah.
might I say.
Wow.
And I was taking notes.
Oh my
Clearly.
gosh! Wow.
And no, they're not like technical notes. They're not advice or anything. They're just some questions that I have for you.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow. You
so
came
who's
prepared.
Joy
Oh my
Spring?
gosh. You don't
Yeah,
know who
'cause
Joy
I was-
Spring is?
No, who's okay? The only time that I've ever heard, I mean, the second time I've heard Joy Spring was on your first podcast.
Mhm.
But the first time was when on Twitter there was like a paid ad
Yeah.
of Joy Spring, and then it kept popping up, and that was the time when Twitter was getting ads in the tweets, and I was like, I remember tweeting, who the heck is Joy Spring? Ano to? Is she like Joy Springles? Is she
Yeah,
I'm so
something like
sorry.
that. No, it's okay.
like Pringles? Halatang gutom no, but
Yeah.
like I who is she?
Oh no, she's a podcaster. Well, like me. She has her show, and you
Makes
should watch.
sense. Oh,
You should watch it. It's called
okay.
Adulting with Joy Spring. So
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Bet you got some inspiration from her.
mhm.
For sure. I see.
So it's mostly like
Adulting.
adulting stuff in your 20s, like how to get through work, relationships, all the good stuff in between.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And
My sister. Mhm.
actually, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, pretty much she's a podcaster.
Yeah, my sister. I was about to my sister was judging me on this whole thing about adulting, right?
Yeah.
And my sister's 32 years old. I'm so sorry, ate. I'm dropping your age. Robin, what's up? And she was judging this whole word. She was like, "What is this adulting?" She was like, there were some interns in the company, and they were talking about adulting, and like she was like, "What is this word?" And I was like, "Oh, ate, it's this. It's when you're like transitioning into adulthood, where you're doing adult stuff, like
yeah.
And then she was like, "Huh? Meron palang ganon?" And she was like, why would you need like only our generation would need the would like put adulting on a pedestal and really talk about it and complain about it. That's wild. But yeah, I guess it's adulting. Joy Spring. I'll
Yeah, you should check it out.
I will.
Mhm.
My other question was, what's bara bara?
Oh
What's
my
bara
gosh,
bara?
You don't know what that means? Bara.
I've heard my mom use it once, but
It's
what's
basically
bara bara?
freestyle. It's bara bara.
Oh, freestyle.
Yeah.
Bara bara. What?
Bara
Bakit
bara.
bara bara? What ang bara bara? I didn't say it like that, bro. Bara bara, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, kanto rin ako, bro. Okay, go.
But that just basically means you just spit as much info, as much details. I know it's like rapper terminology, but like
Yeah.
you just
But your listeners are, like you said, your listeners are either what?
either
Our age or, like,
or
older.
boomers. Yep.
Boomers. the boomers might not understand,
Oh
they
yeah,
might be like,
that's true. That's true.
spitting, what? Why they spitting words? What? Words.
But no, it's just basically
Baboy nun.
impromptu. Even though I have like outlines
I get it.
prepared
Okay.
nights
Mhm.
prior,
Yeah.
I don't have a script. Like literally no script,
Yeah, and
No.
you shouldn't.
no cues. There you go. No script, no
Mhm.
cues. It's just
Mhm.
whatever comes in my head. Of course, with the guide questions for more informative educational episodes, but most of the time, I'm just randomly saying stuff, Of course, I try to formulate thoughts in between, but literally it's just off the top speaking
Mhm.
whenever like I feel it. That's basically what it
That's
is.
good, dude. And like you should get into like public speaking or something, because like, okay, can I not everyone has the guts to do a podcast. And like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I pride myself for like, posting and doing public speaking, right? But podcasting, it's like,
Different universe.
oh, it really makes you question, like, do I even have a personality for this? Like, will people tune in? Will they listen? And it's like that's what I loved about your first episode. You really like went out there, and literally you just sold yourself as an introvert, as a wait, I have notes. Wait, what was it you said? There, you're putting yourself out there as a sensitive guy. I like that. I like that you said that you're a sensitive guy, because like I feel like this will help the whole toxic masculinity issue of our current generation.
Yep.
And I feel like we're doing a lot better, but the fact that I really like that, because I did for my junior thesis toxic masculinity and suicidality, right? The fact that there's actually a guy who's selling himself as a sensitive guy, that was something like, props to you, dude. Props to you.
Wow.
We're going the right direction. Like, people, like, I wouldn't. I mean, I would. Wait, what? I wouldn't not understand it. What? That's a double negative. Never mind. People will follow you. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, people will follow you, because that's the direction that we're kind of like pushing for. People like you, like people who are sensitive, like are out there, or people who like the fact that you're trying to overcome something that overcome something, basically. It's like so refreshing. That's good. By the way, don't call sis, just say sisters. Bro.
No, I changed it. I said sisters. I said sisters from now on. Yeah, I literally messed up the first episode. That's like my trial episode. So all my mistakes were there.
At first, you called them sissies, and I was like, sisters, and like you were having trouble with it too. So I was like, just call them sisters, dude. We're your sisters. But yeah, basically, this whole thing has been fire. You've been fire. I'm glad. I'm super glad that I was able to be on it.
Yeah, thanks for being here. This guest was fire as well. Even if we'd have interjections, we'd cut each other in between. That was fun. Like,
yeah, I feel like it adds more
chaos.
color to yeah, exactly, organized chaos. I feel like it adds more color to the podcast, really. Instead of just question and then answer and then question and answer. It's very, like what you said, raw. It's very authentic. It's really just you and the interviewee engaging with each other and really getting some brain matter into out there. But yeah, good stuff.
Yo, thanks so much. But as always, before we wrap it up, do you have any plugs? Do you have any links and accounts that you would like my listeners or just some of your friends to check out?
Oh,
it's not required though.
Now. Okay.
If you feel shy, it's okay. But
no. Me shy? I mean, I'm Xeina. I'm kidding. I'm Xeina. And okay, so I guess I'd lead you guys towards my family company. If you guys ever need anything about real estate, because we educate real estate practitioners. So anything that you want to know, how to get started, how to be a salesperson, a broker, an appraiser, a government assessor, a consultant as well, and like how to be licensed and stuff like that. You guys could just head over to www.phil-center.com. Yeah. Hit me up.
There you go.
Hit us up. But yeah.
So that's all right. Phil-center.
Yeah, that's all. Phil-center.com. I mean, you can also find us on Facebook at PhilCenter.
Yep.
And you can also reach us at admin@philippinescenter.com. You can also reach me at 0917. Kidding. And that's a wrap. Okay.
Yep, there you go, guys. So, phil-center.com. You can check them out on Facebook. You can check that out on their admin site. And I will link, don't worry, guys, I will link them all on the thumbnail and on my description posts on Facebook and IG. So those are sinus plugs. If you want to check me out this time, for the podcast account on IG, it is at joat.pod.delro. Once again, it is at joat.pod.delro. If you want to check out my personal IG, it is at Jake_Delro. If you want to check me out on Twitter, it's at _Del_Ro_. For Facebook, it is facebook.com/joat.pod.delro. So it's just like my IG. Or if you just want to simply type it on the search tab, it is JakeOfAllTradesWithDelRo. This podcast can be streamed, listened to, viewed, televised, and followed on the following platforms. Yep, almost got lost there, but
yeah.
So
I was doing sound effects, so you wouldn't need to like.
It's all good. So you can check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, Breaker, and on YouTube. So I pretty much said everything. Those are all my plugs. We also had sinus plugs earlier and got the content out of the way. So with that being said, that's a wrap, y'all. Thank you for tuning in today. Mga Del Bros at Sisters. Made sure to get it right this time.
Del Bros and Sisters, signing out.
This has been your one and only Jake of All Trades. And yeah, she was X, not my X,
and
not your X.
Yes, nobody's X. I mean, except for. Never mind. Okay, let's not get into that. That's a whole other episode.
Yep.
But yeah.
And
okay.
I am Delro, and she is X, and we're both signing out. Hanggang sa susunod na usapan at chikahan. See ya!
See ya!